Hello, so today we will study the subject of egolessness and of how you can recognize a person who is egoless or who has very little ego. But those signs also indicate that you yourself you are progressing towards being an egoless person or towards having less ego. Those 12 signs are based on the Big Five model of personality, and I would suggest that two domains of the Big Five are mainly impacted. That is, the relationship to oneself in terms of emotional stability or neuroticism, and the relation to others in terms of agreeableness, that is, compassion and politeness or respect. I would suggest that a person who is egoless or who has very little ego is a person at least at ease with themselves and in peace with others. And so this should reflect in 12 facets of two domains of the Big Five. So now we will study the 6 minor signs and the 6 major signs of a person who is egoless or of a person who has very little ego. So as for the minor signs, it would be linked with agreeableness. I say minor because it is always possible that a person who is egoless still can act in a disagreeable way, or still can act in a way which seems not that compassionate. And after this, we will study the major signs, because those signs are the signs of a person who is necessarily egoless. So the minor signs are linked with agreeableness. Agreeableness has 6 facets. A person with little ego is a person who is trustful. They trust others, that believe that others have good intentions. They believe in human goodness, and it shows. Second, morality. This one is even more important. This person, or you yourself, if you are concerned, would never cheat, would stick to the rules in general, would not use flattery, would not use others, and this is the case especially when you think of false gurus, would not cheat to get ahead, would not put people under pressure if not necessary, would not take advantage of others. So consider also for yourself if you might be in this case. Altruism. A sign of egolessness is altruism. A person who is egoless makes people feel welcome. They anticipate the needs of others. They love to help. They are concerned about others. Fourth, cooperation. This person is easy to satisfy. This person doesn't seek confrontations. This person doesn't seek to contradict others for the sake of contradiction. They don't yell at people. They don't assault people. 5, modesty. This person dislikes being the center of attention. This person dislikes talking about themselves. They consider themselves an average person, and it shows. They don't believe they are better than others. And 6, sympathy. If you move towards less ego, you will start sympathizing with others. You will feel sympathy for those who are worse than yourself. You will value cooperation over competition, and you will feel empathy for others' sorrows. So these are the 6 minor signs linked to the dimension of agreeableness. Now, as for the major signs, it is linked to the dimension of emotional stability. Because emotional stability is linked to a natural mechanism of survival. But once you have no more ego, the problematic of survival is no more there. And so this system of warning doesn't function anymore because you know what is good and bad for you and for others. And so you don't need those emotions given to you by nature to survive. So first, anxiety. People who are egoless don't worry about things, don't fear, are not afraid, don't get stressed out. So if you are moving towards egolessness, you should be less bothered by things, you should be relaxed most of the time, and not easily disturbed by events. Second, the diminishing or even disappearing of anger. You don't get angry easily. You don't get irritated or upset easily. You are not that often in a bad mood, and you don't lose your temper. Then third major sign, disappearing of depression. So this one is a tricky one because when you move towards egolessness, you can go through phases of deep depression. But anyway, with the long term and the long run, depression tends to disappear also, and a person who would be egoless wouldn't know depression either. So this person doesn't feel blue. They don't dislike themselves. They don't have a low opinion of themselves. They don't have mood swings. They don't feel desperate. They don't feel their life lacks direction. Fourth, self-consciousness. So you should see a diminishing in your self-consciousness. You are no more easily intimidated. You don't find it that difficult to approach others. You feel comfortable with everyone. You are not embarrassed easily because you don't need to protect a certain self-image or ego. Then comes immoderation. Immoderation or lack of temperance. So why do we indulge in immoderation? Because we need to feel full, and we need to feel full because we don't connect with the source, and we are still in a process of wanting more and more, and so we are in a feeling of lack, and we compensate this feeling of lack with various pleasures, superficial pleasures, like eating too much, like going on binges, like don't resisting any temptations for sensual pleasures, like overindulging in sex or alcohol. So these are signs of the presence of an ego. And sixth major signs, vulnerability. So once you don't have any more ego, you don't have the problematic of defending it, so you don't panic, you don't become overwhelmed by events, you don't get overwhelmed by emotions, and you can remain calm under pressure. So to sum up, minor signs: presence of trust, high morality, altruism, high cooperation, modesty, and sympathy. And major signs linked to emotional stability, which are the following. So it is low neuroticism, like low anxiety, low anger, low depression, low self-consciousness, low immoderation, and low vulnerability. Thank you.